as you can. Okay, we will start. The record has started. Hi everybody. Good afternoon. This is Ken. So I'm going to do a myopia care talk, and the talk mainly covers about what we can do to better take care of your child's eyes. A bit about myself. I'm volunteering at the Singapore Optometric Association. I'm also part of the advisory panel for some of the work in MOH and HPB. I'm the founder and CEO of eyesight.sg. CEO doesn't mean I have a lot of people under me. It's just a 9-man team. But this is my only financial interest disclosure that I would like everybody to know. Let's start the meeting. Let's start the talk with a video. So it's going to be a good 1 minute video. So let's enjoy.
The most important information about the world comes to us through our eyes, and that's why I think vision is so important to us. I remember being slightly older than my son now when I became myopic. Initially, I still could go on my daily life with glasses and sometimes without. However, my eyesight deteriorated and that started to affect my life. I couldn't even perform daily functions like being able to see the bus numbers without my glasses or my contact lenses. I eventually went to an eye care professional who told me that I had become high myopic. And I didn't know that simple myopia could develop into high myopia, and that had the devastating side effect of potential blindness. Both my husband and I are high myopic, and both our parents have myopia as well. And that's why we are testing Isaiah's eyes, because we are concerned about his future, and I don't want him to go through what I went through.
Isaiah and Stella are not alone. By 2050, half of the world's population will share their story. The incidence of myopia is increasing at an alarming rate around the world. The human and financial toll will skyrocket in the coming decades, especially in Asia. Through collaboration and partnerships, we will create a deeper understanding of how the condition develops, how it progresses, and how it may be intercepted. Together, we can create a world without myopia.
So I'm very, very happy to be involved in this project, working with SNEC and Johnson & Johnson in some of the roles that I'm working on, I'm appointed to. So I think this is something that is really close to my heart, and it's something that is really close to yours as well. And you're probably here to really find out about how we can better take care of your child's vision. So today I'm just going to cover, what myopia really is, some of the facts and myths about myopia, and also at the same time, be able to look at some of the prevention and advice on myopia care. So anytime, even though this is recorded, I would love that you all can jump in, unmute yourself, ask me any questions, and I'm here to add as much value as I can as possible. So everybody knows that we learn and we look at our when we look at things around, we 83% comes from our vision. Our relationship with the digital devices is a double-edged sword. We love them, but we know that they are not the best for our eyes, especially for children if they start using their digital device from a young age. I just did an interactive session with your children, and I realized that most of them are talking about iPads, YouTube, mobile phone. Some of them are even complaining to say that, hey, my mommy watches and play games late at night in the dark. So I think we have to be exemplary parents, but I'll reach there later on. But and I just want to address this, right? Because this is something that I do as well, and this is something that I continue to work hard to manage the screen time a little for both myself as a parent. I have 2 boys, and also for our children, to see how we can take care of it. Vision is very important. If you take a poll around, everybody says that, hey, vision is important. It's the last thing I want to lose. but yet, it's often neglected. I think it's just like exercise, right? Everybody knows that we need to exercise. A lot of evidence are talking about how exercise is good for us, but we're just not doing it as per the guidelines, don't we? And the vision is so important. I think I just want to introduce you three very important professions. One is the optician, who are so good at fitting you a pair of glasses. They are the ones that can prescribe glasses for your children and yourself, and they can do a prescription check. There's the ophthalmologist, the eye specialist. They finish 8 years of medical school. They do another 5 years just to specialize in eye. And of course, if you look at this, it's a screen, where the surgeon is actually doing an operation, probably like a cataract removal. They can do LASIK. They are the one that prescribe, and they are in the tertiary care. And then there's a primary eye care. It's like me, I'm an optometrist. So I'm really like the frontliner. We are the GP for your eyes. So if there's anything pertaining to any eye and vision issues, you should go to an optometrist, because we can actually look at what is an issue caused by. Is it a red eye? And what is a red eye about? Is it a conjunctivitis? Is it an allergy? Is it just caused by contact lens? Is it just dry eyes? We can actually diagnose it. If you heard of cataract, glaucoma, macular degeneration, myopia management, eye health screening, and an optometrist is someone you can go to just to make sure that you get the eyes screening and the whole examination sorted out. And the reason why I put up this slide is because a lot of people are mistakenly taking eye test as just one simple test, when in fact there are three different types of eye tests. So the vision test is something that we look at the smallest and the finest letters all the way to the bottom of the chart. And when you think that you pass this, yay, you don't need to go for this, because if you fail, this is a prescription check where we need to measure what's your short-sightedness, what is your astigmatism, what is your long-sightedness, or even Lao Hua presbyopia, right? If you reach the age of 40. So this is a refraction. We call it like a prescription check. So this is also called an eye test very loosely by a lot of people. And this is an eye health examination. What is eye health exam? We use medical equipment to look at different structure of your eyes to make sure that they are healthy, because it's the eye that gives you good vision. So this is a fundus camera. We look at the retina. So this is a nerve. You can see some blood vessels coming out of it. This is what we do to check out for glaucoma, to check out for retinal detachment. If you heard of eye stroke, right? When your eye can get some occlusion, your vein in the vessels, and you can get blockage and some eye stroke right in your eye. So this is a tonometer. It's a equipment to measure the pressure of your eye. And this is a biomicroscope where you can actually take a picture of the front part of the eye for cataract check and everything. So I just want to be very clear with the different eye tests, because when the word eye test is not clearly defined, everybody think that the moment I ask them, hey, can you come back for an eye exam? They'll be like, hey, I just did my glasses with you, Ken. I don't need any more eye tests. And I pass, I can see clearly. Why should I need? Most of the time, we want to look at your eye health. So it's not just 1, 2, or 3, it's 1, 2, and 3. You need to do all this, and we call it a complete, comprehensive eye health exam. And I think this is very, very important. So something related to your loved ones is that when they are at K2, HPB Health Promotion Board, they will get their vendors and their nurses to bring your children through a vision test. And a vision test is the one that just looks up whether you have 6/6 or 6/12 vision. Most of the time, it's the nurses that will do that. And if they fail 6/12, you are given a letter, or you are being asked, if you are like only 7 and below, they are being asked to the refraction clinic to do an eye prescription test. So they will look at this first. If you fail 6/12, and then they will be brought to the refraction clinic. It's going to be at near SNDC, near Outram MRT, where they or even the other parts of Singapore, where they have a refraction clinic to look at children below 7 to do a prescription test. Yep. So this is the one. But when the nurses come, they don't really do an eye prescription degree testing. They only look at whether you pass or fail 6/12. This number behind is the font size, and I think what we want to look at is not just about getting glasses, but how can we control and manage myopia? Because if we don't, this is a typical journey where Every time you get blur vision, you go to the opticians, you go to the optical shop, you make glasses. 1 year later, they will be telling you, "Mommy, I can't see the whiteboard again." You check your eyes, the degree is increased. You update it again. 12 months later, hey, what happens? The prescription gets blur again. Have you ever wondered what caused this and why is this happening? So today, the primarily, agenda is really to make you understand fully why this journey takes place. And to answer that, I think we need to look at what myopia is about. And myopia really is short-sighted. I am myopic, right? So this is my pair of glasses. I need to wear glasses myself. I like these funky big ones because they can, cover my eyes from all the UV. So short-sighted, another word for it is nearsighted. And it comes from the root word myon, which means close. Ops means eyes. So the moment you can't see, what do? You squint, right? You do this to see things far away. So that's what myopia is about. It's myon-ops, which is shut eyes to see things far away. Because when you are short-sighted, everything far away you can't see, right? I call it a disease. You'll be like, wow, Ken, wait a minute. What do you mean by a disease? I'm going to show you later on. 83% of the young adults do have it right now in Singapore. This is a statistic in 2022. When your boys and girls are in P6, 65% actually suffer from myopia. And Singapore is the myopia capital of the world. And this is something that is pretty, pretty bad for us. It's not something that we should be proud of. If we don't do anything about it, this is something that is going to be happening where they are in pre-U. Really, a lot of the students will have to wear glasses due to short-sightedness or astig. I can tell you why short-sighted is scarier than astig, because short-sighted means light fall inside the eyeball. Instead of hitting the retina, it hits short of the retina. That means it's falling too short, right? Again, the light comes into the eye, it's supposed to focus on the retina, just like a camera. The sharp image is supposed to focus on the film, but when it's falling too short, we call it short-sighted. It also means that the eyeball is longer. This is long-sighted. That means instead of falling on the retina, it's falling too long behind, right? Light falls too short, light falls too long. This is short-sighted. Over here, this is long-sighted, all right? And the reason why light becomes short of the retina is because our eyeball has become longer. I repeat, when you are short-sighted, your eyeball becomes longer. This is a very important concept to grasp, because it's not just about wearing a pair of glasses. The fact that you are short-sighted and the fact that you can't see far is because your eyeball has become longer. And you'll be very familiar with this, right? Probably your primary school friends or secondary school. I'm pretty sure there's someone in your network or your friends, your classmate, who needs really, really thick glasses, right? They can be really beautiful, right? I mean, these two ladies, undeniably, right? They are very attractive, but the fact that they need glasses is not just about having smaller eyes. It's the fact that the eyeball has become really long. This is easily like a 1,800 degree, right? But I want to tell you that it's not just about having thick glasses that are bulky and it's so inconvenient. It's about having longer eyes. And Singapore, we try to be number one in everything. even myopia want to be number one, but please, it's not something that we should be proud of. Like I said, we're the capital. But look, in the year 2050, it's been projected that we are number one again, and a good 77%. It's an astonishing figure if you ask me. Will be myopic, and 49% is high myopia, right? It means half of Singapore's population, if you don't do anything about it, will be high myopia. I want you to focus on your attention to the next slide, because it's going to be something that you've not heard before. But I'm going to declare this. Myopia is a chronic, silent epidemic. It is a disease, right? Myopia is a disease. And what makes you say that, Ken? You mean I have a disease? Yep, this is my glasses. I am myopic. I have a disease. I want you to look at the text from Wikipedia, right? So a disease is a particular abnormality that affects the structure of a part of an organism, which is known as a medical condition that has specific symptoms and signs. It can be caused by pathogens or internal dysfunction, right? So I really want you to look at this definition that I quote from Wikipedia, and I want you to relate it to our eye. What is the abnormality here? The elongation of the eye. Remember I said short-sighted equals eyeball long. And how does it negatively affect the structure? When I have a rubber sheet and I pull it, what happens to the rubber? It becomes thinner, right? And if your eyeball becomes longer, it will weaken the structure of the eye, right? And you'll affect the function. What is the function of eyes? Vision, okay? It may not be due to any external injury, but it's a medical condition, and the specific symptoms are the fact that you cannot see things far away, right? You are squinting your eyes, and the sign is that the axial length or the eyeball length is longer. So it fits into what a disease is. And this is something that I need to reiterate many times, because the story of myopia does not end with a pair of glasses. The next slide is going to be super important. I just want to pause there for 10 seconds for you to really look at these for 10 seconds, starting from now. It says here, the risk of eye diseases multiplies. It's not a percentage higher, it's a multiplication with high levels of myopia. When your prescription is 300, that means when you're short-sighted or 近视 or nearsighted is 300, the chances of you having a detachment, okay, versus when you're 600 and above 600 can go up to 41 times. I repeat, it's not a percentage higher, it's 41 times. Why? This is our eyeball, right? When I say the eyeball becomes longer, I really mean it grows towards the back of the eye, right? So this is, again, our eye. It can get longer like that. I repeat, this is our eye. It can get longer like this. Okay, and that is why your friend who's got the 800 or 1000 degree, their lenses are so thick, is because their eyeball has become so long that they need a very thick lens to bend the light all the way to the retina, right? And this is why they need such thick glasses. So what I'm trying to say is that when you have myopia, it increases the risk of many eye conditions. What is this glaucoma about? It's the fact that your sight vision is gone. Okay, that's what glaucoma is. It can be due to eye pressure of your eye. It can be due to myopia. What is macular degeneration? It's when the center part of your vision goes missing. Some of these conditions are irreversible and they are very hidden. That means you may not even get any signs or symptoms. Retinal detachment, when you see a curtain coming down, that could be a detachment of your retina, right? And again, you need to do laser, you need to do a scleral buckler. These are things that you don't want to go through for you and your children, and even cataract, where you get a cloudy opacification of the front part of the eye, the crystalline lens, and you need to go for an op to remove it. So myopia increases all these risks, right? Again, if you have any questions, I'm moving on a little bit faster because I just want to make sure that you guys get a full picture of what this story is. So I want to move into what causes this excessive eye growth. Ken, you're telling me that the eye becomes longer, but why? All right. So very quickly, I've broken it down into 3 different reasons. First is about close work. The fact that you're holding onto your phone, is this a familiar scene? Our parents who are attending here, whether is it Steph or Rizwan or Madaya, or Mr. Fu, right? Is this something familiar to you? I don't know, right? But this is definitely very familiar to me. Kids growing up, right? Even ourselves, sometimes as adults, we're guilty of doing that. Another question that I want to ask parents: are we bringing our kids outdoors enough? Yes, you may say that, hey, there's COVID, there's mosquito, there's dengue and stuff, but I think we really need to look beyond those. And can we look at genetics? Does it pass down to my children? So I'm going to look into them in greater details. So close work, whether is it schoolwork or whether is it your mobile devices. So it's the reality, because what happens is, if you don't allow your children to use your device or iPad or laptop, what do you ask them to do? You ask them to read. But whether is it the laptop, the mobile phone, your iPad or your tablet or the books, it's about how close the gadget is near to us, right? Whether is it books or digital device, from a myopia progression perspective, they are the same, because it's so close to us, it drives the light to the back of the eye. So in Singapore, where it's really competitive in terms of education, we want our kids to have the best schools. If we are a bit more of the competitive parents, no wrong. I can get competitive sometimes. So we sometimes get too much into all this tuition, and after that enrichment. We pack our boys and girls from Monday to Sunday. I'm sure you know someone who does that. If you're not doing it, I'm happy. If you do, it's fine as well, right? So there's a lot of new activities, and really, I think the rule is really to avoid really close work. All right, and I talk about close work, I really mean it, because we have to follow something called the elbow rule. And the elbow rule states that when you put your hand on the chin, the distance of the elbow is where you should be holding. I repeat, put your hand on the chin, the distance of where your elbow is, this is where you should be holding on to your things, to your articles. If you're lying down, it's a bit too close. If your kids are, writing like this, like they go really close to the table, that's just a palm away, and that is not good as well. So avoid very near work. I think that's the number one rule. Okay, and I hope your kids don't start using your phone in the fetus, right? I'm just kidding. I tell you why. I want you to look at prehistoric times where we were all hunters gatherers, right? What I'm trying to say here is that our eyes are not meant to use and read things up close. They are meant to, for our survival, we look at things far away, we look out for hunting animals, or we are hunting for food, right? But we are looking out for danger all the time. We're supposed to use our eyes to see far away things. But it's only through recent decades of revolution, industrialization, where we need to assemble things in the factory, digitization, whether it's iPhone, iPad, whether you're watching me on an iPad, laptop, or your phone, is something close and it's a digital revolution, or even education where we are reading. I think these are things that are forcing our eyes to look at something up close. And when you look at something up close, what happens? Light actually focuses to the back of the eye. And yes, while the muscles can actually change the lens to bring it back here again, it doesn't happen all the time. If you were to read for a very, very long time, the muscles do get tired and the light will fall to the back of the eye. And when it falls to the back of the eye, there is an exposure for the eyeball to grow towards it. I repeat, when there's a light falling to the back of the eye, because it's going to be blur for the eyeball will grow towards this light stimulation. I call it phototropism. Photo means light, tropism means our eyeball behaves like a tropical plant. It will grow towards where the light is. And when you wear glasses, there are also some theory that suggests, this is the paper, you might want to do a screenshot and find it out later on. There's also light at the back of the eye, all right, because our eyeball is round, right? Only the center light reaches here, that stimulates the eyeball to grow towards it. And with all this stimulation, whether you are reading your phone or your book, right, or even things that's growing to the back, it will increase the length of the eye because of all this stimulation. Whether you're wearing glasses or whether is it because you're reading a lot, it allows the eyeball, it stimulates, it influences the eyeball to grow longer. And when you grow longer, you get short-sighted again. And that's why the cycle happens, okay? These are all the stimulation points for the eyeball to grow longer and longer. This is what phototropism is about. And from a tender age of 5 to 16, this is really when the eyeball gets, right? They grow very, very fast. Why? It's associated to your age. That means when they grow taller, their eyeball can get longer. And when your eyeball gets longer, you get more and more myopic. So that's why you can also do like LASIK when you're 21, is because the doctors often say that when you're 21 years old, your eyes are more stabilized, you're already a grown individual, and this is when you can actually go for LASIK because you are supposedly more stable growth for your eye, right? But 5 to 16, this is when parents need to really take care of. So what can you do now when it comes to these issues? Number one, 2020 is the magic of micro break. Now, I was just sharing with your children, they are such a lovely bunch. They're so cute, right? One of the boys actually was, I said, cover one eye to read some of the letters. He covered two eyes and he was just repeating what everybody said. So adorable, your children, I love them. So I was telling them about 20 rule. So every 20 minutes, look 20 feet, which is about 6 meters for 20 seconds. And I think this is something that we want to reiterate. This is so important, right? Because you cannot go on and on and on with your reading material. Okay, so hold your material elbow rule, right? That means put your hand on the chin, region of the elbow. This is where you should be holding. They cannot be, going too close when they are writing, right? It cannot be further than the elbow. No matter how tall or how cute and dainty they are, follow the elbow rule. Do not read lying down. Do not read belly down. Because if you read belly down, you're probably bending your elbows a lot, and it's really close to your eye. And every 20 minutes, if your kids love to read, I'm super happy for you, but they need to take a 20-second break. That's all, That's what I mean by a micro break. Go look out of the window, look at the trees, sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. That's about 20 seconds, slowly, not the very fast Twinkle, Little Star. Okay, so that's tip number one. This is my Instagram. My two boys, this is Johnny, this is Ada. When I come home to them, they are doing that. And of course, the first thing I did is like, oh my gosh, I've been, I'm lecturing, I'm telling parents not to let them, and here they go. They're using my iPad to watch their phone, and they're all like, this is the reality, okay? I'm no saint, all right? But I think what I'm trying to say here is I'm also, it's hard. I can tell you it's hard. Especially this young boy is really 15. You will know how much they will be on their screen. But I guess it's always that constant, I wouldn't say nagging, but it's a constant reminders. Limit the screen time a little bit, bring them more outdoors, involve them, in some of the family stuff. Sometimes all these gadgets, they are such a good babysitter. The moment you want the kids to shut up now, you just take, one phone you pass to them, they'll, so this is so much of being an optometrist there, but I want, mommy and daddy, I really wanted to know that this is something I'm struggling with as well. It's been 6 years. Is there any changes? I hope so, but I think we have to continue. Okay, so the second factor, for those parents who just joined, I'm talking about what causes excessive eye growth, which is myopia. So I've talked about the first one where there's close work. I'm going to talk about light environment. There's a research that says that if you go outdoors and play, it can keep myopia away. That's what HPV came up with. Go outdoors and play, keep myopia away. They did a study in Australia and in Singapore. They compared two groups of children, 5, 6 years old, same ethnicity, same amount of reading and computer time. The fact that the Australian children are often outdoors, it actually helps with the reduction of the progression of myopia. That means the Singapore kids, because they are bound indoors more often compared to the Australian kids, much lesser myopia in Australia. And he realized that the light, the luminance, right? The blue light actually helps, not just blue light, right? It's just the brightness of the fact that you are outdoors, going out to, Mother Nature, actually helps with slowing down of myopia because of the muscle relaxation, because of the light that's coming in. It just helps with myopia progression. Of course, you need to wear your sunglasses, you need to be sun smart around it. And this is something that, of course, if you're outdoors, you can't be walking in the park with your phone. I see people doing that, but that's fine. But chances are you might want to be just out, right? Cycling, dancing. I don't know. There are so many things that they were describing earlier on to what we can do outside. Jogging, and there are a lot of very good activities. Just walking in nature. I think that's great. I just realized that the ladies are barefooted. Yeah, they talk about earthing and how the negative ions. I mean, there's just so many good benefits from going outdoors. So keep myopia away, go outdoors and play. So 10 more family outdoor time. Be exemplary as a parent. I think it's so important that we walk the talk, because the last thing you say is, hey, keep the phone. Then they look at you at mom, but you're using your phone yourself, then be like, So I think we have to be exemplary. I think we need to be present, avoid unnecessary screen time, and manage expectations and set boundaries. I think, as a parent, I struggle. Sometimes I say, hey, the reason why dad has to be on the phone is because I'm working. I need to reply the email. There's this WhatsApp, the patient is inquiring on something. I need to reply. But sometimes when I at home, I often have to really, like, with a lot of self-awareness and knowingly keep my phone away, right? So I think this is something that we can really look at and start thinking about it. I don't know how easy for you, but what I do for my phone is that I have no notifications. I repeat, I have no notifications on WhatsApp, for my email. The only notification I have is calls and all the financial stuff in case somebody used my credit card to buy some stuff that I did not authorize. So these are things that I'm very selective, and I just want to share with you, right? Then and often I charge my phone outside of my room, right? Just so that I don't use my phone till I fall asleep. And I need to be very, very have a lot of self-awareness, because it's so easily to get carried away. This is what the phones are built to do, right? Get us addicted and hooked on. Genetics, one parent myopic, 3 times the chance, two parents, 6 times the chance. This is just like buying lucky draw and toto like that. The more chance you have, the more chance you can. Okay, jokes aside, but I think this is something that very factual. All these against are the journals that you can look it up from. And of course, being competitive parents, again, we want our children to, be happy and be really good at their study academically. The recent urban generations have more parents who are genetics. I mean, if our age is about the same, my parents, they are not myopic. They need reading glasses, yes, but look at our peers now and our children with this kind of statistics and the digital device prevalence, the amount of time we spend on the screen and stuff. We really need to look at it. Okay, Asian, East Asian, Chinese more prone, right? But whether I think it's just East Asian in general, India, in Malaysia, Indonesia, I think everywhere, it's everywhere. It's happening right now. So again, for those parents who just came in, I was talking about this journey that is so tough to break away from. Vision blur, get glasses, 1 year later, blur again, update your scripts, 1 year later, blur again. We don't want that. And what can we do then to rethink about this spectacle journey, right? Or just prescribing and updating. I think the awareness of myopia is pretty low. We need to do something about it. I want you to really start speaking to an eye care professional, whether it's in an optometrist or the ophthalmologist or even your optician. Talk to them about myopia management. How can I control my kids, right? To look at it. Of course, there's a lifestyle, there's the habits and the postural kind of a thing that you need to look at, bringing them outdoors. I think I'm going to share with you the holistic approach to how we can do that, right? Because there are a lot of myths that goes around myopia. They will say that, hey, the school checked already, ma, right? But I want to reiterate that the nurses, they only check for vision. There are many eye tests. I was telling you earlier on that there is the vision test, and this is what the nurses do in school. But did they check the prescription? The answer is no. Did they check the eye health? The answer is no. Do they look at lazy eyes? Do they look at the habits? Do they look at what is the best thing that you should be doing for your children? The answer is no, and I hope this is something you can look at. Okay, give me a second. I'm having some notification for my battery. I'm just going to charge this. Give me 2 seconds, very quickly. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, so the nurses, again, they only check for their vision. but nothing on the prescription. And I think this is something we want to look at when it comes to control. Many parents ask for discounts, not like in price, but hey, can you don't give so high or not, huh? Can you give lower? So don't do that. Don't do that. If you go to an optometrist or the optician who are really into myopia management, they are the best professions that you can trust. Don't ask for discount for their power. Maybe for the price, I don't know if you are kind enough to give some discount on the price, but not on the prescription. They would definitely adjust it for comfort, but don't start asking them to don't start telling the doctor, hey, can you don't give me this antibiotic? You don't do that, right? So it's just simple. So and like I said, I was telling you like how I'm also struggling with my children's screen time. I cannot do anything. My children don't listen one. So I think we still need to continue to advocate the right habits. Like I said, we all know that we cannot eat all the unhealthy food, right? We all know that we need to exercise, but do we do that? But at least when we have that the awareness, we continue to strive to become a better individual. And I want to tell you that we continue to walk this journey, and it will be really, really good for the growth of the children. I think that's very important. So you should be concerned about this rising myopia issue. Half of the world's population will be myopic, and I think Singapore, we are not spared from this problem. So I'm going to quickly move into the different myopia intervention, and I will leave the last 15 minutes for some Q&A. You can ask me any questions at any time. So I'm just going to pause here for 5 seconds to see if there's any parents who need to ask me anything right now, or if you want to, you can definitely unmute yourself. One parent asks, everybody gets to listen and share the thoughts as to what I've just shared for the past half an hour. Any parent or any teacher? Teacher, ask Linda, anything you want to ask me? No? Okay, all good. So I'll leave the Q&A to behind. Don't be shy. We are here to learn and discuss very openly what we can do for our loved ones. And this is what I strive to do. So there are many ways. I talk about a lot of the, lesser screen time, 20-20-20, elbow rule, don't read in the dark and stuff like that. But there are many ways that a professional can help you when it comes to interventions from optical or pharmacotherapy. One way is it's invasive. That means it's on the eye, something that will get close and on your eye. And there's something that's non-invasive, which is just spectacle glasses. So something that I do a lot in my clinic is called orthokeratology. It's a night lens that we specially prescribe and customize to your child's eye that they wear to sleep at night. And when they wake up in the morning, they just have to remove these retainers, okay? It's like, braces, they got the retainer every night. It's the same concept, but not for orthodontists, but it's for your cornea. So they remove this retainer and they can see clearly throughout the whole day, spectacles free. Okay, if you heard this for the first time, I'm telling you again, they wear these night lenses to sleep, minimally 6 to 8 hours. They wake up, they remove these contact lenses, they can see clearly throughout the day, and it can control the myopia, or we don't want it to increase from 100 to 200 to 300 degree every year. This is one of the most efficacious methodology. And yes, of course, there are some pros and cons. I'm going to cover it. Very quickly, atropine is a pharmacotherapy. There are contact lenses. They are FDA approved for myopia control as well. There are spectacle glasses, and there are just so many in the market. I'm going to share with you very quickly what you need to get. And there's also those that are optical defocused, right? So I'm going to move on to into each and every one of them. So these ortho-K lenses, they are amazing because it can really change the life of a young one. My youngest patient is 6 years old. Yes, when they are K2, they can already start wearing these night lenses to sleep. so that when they wake up, they can go spectacle free. How it works very quickly, it changes the shape of the front part of the eye to bring the light inside and also before the retina so that it doesn't allow the eyeball to become longer and longer. So the benefit of it is that, wow, kids grow spectacle free, and those who are in sports, those who love dancing or in performing arts, they can go spectacle free. And I think this is something that they enjoy it so much. And of course, the control efficacy is also the best in my clinic, because we select our patient very thoroughly. And there is also, but the flip side is that, the reality is there's risks as of any contact lens wear. We need to mitigate to make sure that we communicate, we make sure that they comply to some of the instructions on cleaning, the safety, the hygiene, the health of the eye needs to be prioritized. And of course, the child themselves must be motivated. Parents must be committed to make sure that this works. There are many, many things to talk about just looking at that. Atropine is an eye drop only prescribed by an eye doctor. So it's an anti-muscarinic agent. That means it relaxes the muscles to allow the eyeball not to become longer and longer. And that's what it means by slowing down the rate of myopia progression. And it's used nightly, so that you just have to put on one drop, or depending on the concentration needed. Concentration means that it's actually 1%, but there are some research that talks about how low dose concentration, 0.01%, can actually already help. So, but of course, if you have a higher concentration, the side effect becomes higher. It may cause some disturbance to the child, but the doctors will often start with a very low dose. So it's easy to use. It's just have to apply it every night right before they sleep. And the side effect is, if it happens, it's very mild, because the doctors start with 1 out of the 100 of 1%, which is actually a very safe dosage. So the eyeball don't get relaxed so much. The side effects is really almost negligible sometimes. But you still need glasses. You still need to wear spectacles, whether is it ortho-K, contact lenses, or glasses. For children, yep, they are safe. So long the children understands what they are in it for, and parents, they trust the practitioner to take care of the children. So long-term side effects, not known. But yeah, I think this is something that atropine can do to reduce the progression of myopia. So sorry, this is a wrong image, but there is also soft contact lenses that typically what parents use in a day, but it's more for children. They can even come from with a smaller size. They are FDA approved for myopia control. So they wear these contact lenses in the day to control their myopia as well. So the good thing about these soft contact lenses is that they are more known. The awareness is higher compared to the night lenses that I talked to you about. Yep, and I think parents who were contact lens users, they know how to handle some of the issues. So children can go spectacle free. And the disadvantage is that parents cannot supervise them throughout the whole, their wearing hours. Night lenses, they can, because they see them wearing it to sleep, wearing it, removing it before they go to school. But there might be complication when they are in school. And of course, the long hours, that we can only wear these lenses 6, 8, 10, 12 hours. Some discomfort may arise from this normal soft lens in the day that they use. And yep, and we need to sort it out with some eye drops or whatsoever. Parents, if you have kids, we hope your kids don't have to wear glasses. And if you ever speak to a eye care professional, they will start talking to you about myopia control lenses. I need you to be aware that the only one that works is these ones, honeycomb lens. I repeat, they're called honeycomb lens. The one that is progressive, that is inline, or even a peripheral defocus ones, they don't work as well. Some kids, when they put on, wonderful, very, very good, but only these guys are evidence-based. That means the efficaciousness is very, very high, right? It's very, very important to make sure that you go for the honeycomb, or we call it like the DIMS, DIMS, or HALT, HALT design. One is from Hoya, it's a Japanese lens. One is from Essilor, it's a French lens, right? They are those, and they typically cost about $400 to $500, if you're wondering. So this is the only spectacle lenses that has very good results. These other three, older technology, this is the one that you need to look out for. The advantage of it is that it's non-invasive, it's pretty safe, except for the fact that it might break at all if ball gets hit, or if you're not careful with the care of glasses. So that's a disadvantage. And general use, very easy to accept. And I think the disadvantage is that, hey, a lot of parents, they are not aware of what is what, right? And I think this is something that I want to take a chance to really bring up about this. So, this slide really talks about how important it is to control myopia, because if you just give them the conventional or the normal glasses, just because they are cheaper, just because you don't trust that your kids can take care of them, or you don't want to spend too much time, I really want you to start thinking about, the disease definition that I talked to you about, and about if your children, yes, you may want them to excel academically, you want them to be happy, you want them to grow, you want them to be growing up healthily. And I think this is something that the gift of vision is something that you really want to do, and you don't ever allow them to go into the high myopia case. We need to start looking at myopia control. The summary of what I want to share. Thanks for staying on with me for a good 50 minutes. The last 10 minutes, I promise, is for Q&A. Please ask me questions, and I would love to help you with any questions that you may have. I want to reiterate that vision is so important. Prevention and holistic intervention starts from young. Myopia is a silent epidemic. Awareness around how it can lead to many diseases is so inadequate. We need to spread the message, and every child is unique. I have parents who bring their children in at K2 and they are starting to wear these night lenses, these day lenses. So I think you shouldn't have any belief that, oh, it's not for my child can't handle. Speak to us, right? This is just so important, and we need to start looking at it from very, very young age. And depending on the needs, the lifestyle, what is your motivation, we'll be able to cater to your needs. And you need to speak to an optometrist who wants to make a difference in your child's vision. I'm Ken again. I'm from eyesight.sg. It just so happened that my clinic is just at Tampines. It's at 827, block 827. And of course, if you have your favorite optometrist that you go to, your optician, go to them, talk to them about myopia management. And I think we all have the same care around your patients, so around your children. So this is my name card. I just want to make sure that if you scan the QR code, it will save. Yes, it can save my name card. The addresses of my different practices are there. My email, my mobile phone is there. So anything at all, parents, please reach out to me. I'm just going to go into Q&A. Come, let's go. Thanks for sharing throughout. And please, Mr. Fu, Tipo, Jason, Madaya, Aslinda, Rizwan, Steph, ask me anything. On a chat, unmute yourself, do anything you prefer. Ken, is it necessary for the child to wear blue light glasses during screen time? Very good question, Madaya. I think they are good from a perspective of protection. Does blue light blocking glasses stop or slow down the myopia progression? The answer is no. There is no evidence that it can help with myopia progression. That means blue light, if you block it, myopia can still go up. There's no evidence in there. But does it protect the eyes from the harmful blue light from the screen so that your eyes get less tired, the eyes get more comfortable? The answer is yes. I'm very specific to what advantage it brings, not from myopia, slowing down of progression of myopia, but from the protection. Yeah. So is it necessary? I think so. I think it's good to always have some form of protection, because I was just talking to a doctor. She's saying that a lot of her patient, are coming in with cataract in their 40s. You know, we always talk about cataract and UV when they are often outdoors or 50, 60, 70 years old. But she's seeing more and more cataract patients in their 40s. And she attributes it to the fact that it's from the devices, from the screen time. You know, because, you know, there's a lot of blue light coming out from the screen. And blue light, if you remember your electromagnetic spectrum, is very close to the ultraviolet, and even though it's non-visible, the spectrum of the high energy light is there. And I think we need to start protecting our eyes from these harmful lights, especially when we are so glued to our screen most of the time. It's protection starts from young. So I would think it's necessary if you ask. It's not turn on the night shift function on the phone, or if you go to your setting display, they got all these blue light filter screen or blue light glasses. I think you can turn them on. I think it's great. Yeah, blue light filter or night shift if you're using a iOS system, your Apple stuff. Yeah. Any more questions? I would love to answer any question. As little as I know, I'll try my best. Anything that you want me to elaborate on, don't feel free to unmute yourself. Don't paise. No? Really? Okay. Don't be shy, really. If not, I will just hold them there for another 15 seconds because I know it's lunchtime for everyone. And I'm really glad that you guys are here to learn how to take care of your children's eyes. You know, this is my contact details. And again, I thank Miss Alinda so much, teacher Alinda, for inviting me here today and for allowing me to speak to your children. It's been a wonderful session speaking to you. I've recorded it for those parents who came in a little late, or if you are listening to this, yeah, over the recorded screen. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, WhatsApp me. My name is Ken. I'm going to stop share and stop this presentation very soon. 5 more seconds. If you have no questions. All right, thank you. Okay, I got another question. Yes, I would love to answer anytime. Okay, thank you, Ken. Oh no, thank you. It's a pleasure. I thought it's a question, but it's a thank me. All right, parents, thank you so much for having me again and for and for participating in the talk. I'll see you all very soon. Take care, enjoy, and I'll see you. Thank you, thank you. Bye bye. See you.